There are polarities when you deal with number vibrations. There are 4 sets of particular number vibrations. I will begin with the number 9. Number 9 is the number that holds all other vibrations together in the physical realm. Also in the spiritual realm, but I will not get into the spiritual realm. That's going to come at a later date too. The pairing of these numbers are 8 and 1, 7 and 2, okay, 6 and 3, okay, 5 and 4. Now, when you take each of those pairings, those numbers add exactly to the number 9. Interesting, isn't it? 9, a number, as I said, of fulfillment. 9 also is the number of, when you add the numbers 3, 6 together, creates 9. 4, 5 creates 9. Okay, 7, 2 or 2, 7 creates 9. 8 and 1 creates 9. These are polar opposites. When one of the numbers are positive, or is positive rather, the other number becomes negative, or the polar opposite. Now understand, when I say negative, negative does not represent anything evil. That is something that has been misrepresented and taught to people as part of the dumbed down process of keeping people in a state of ignorance. Ignorance endangers you. Knowledge protects you. So we're moving into an area of dealing with higher knowledge based on the science and numerology, working through the laws of vibration under the auspices of the higher vibration society. Now, the 8-1 combination, let's talk about that. Well, let's talk about the 4-5 combination, because we're in the year of 2011, which is a 4, so that you can better understand what is happening. Number 4 is a number of rebellions. What do you see that is happening all throughout this planet right now, especially in the area that they call the Mid-East and North Africa? Because the Mid-East is nothing more than Africa itself. That was told to us and has been proven to us, land-wise and otherwise, by our honorable brother, Dr. Ben Janakin. Now, the number 4 is a stable number. It's a stable vibration. It represents the support. It represents the foundation. It is the cornerstone. It is the backbone. Okay? It is the backbone of Osiris, or Asaru, where the 33 vertebrae are held in place. Okay? Now, the number 4 is positive this year, because it is the vibration of this year. But its opposite is 5. 4 deals with limitations. In order for you to move into the freedom of 5, something has to be established. A precedence must be laid down in order for you to move into the number 5, which deals with travel and movement and motion. Okay? If you want to have a home to live in, you must lay a foundation so that the building that is erected, okay, will house itself. Okay? Number 4, rebellion. Possibility of revolution. But people are going to continue to rebel. Hardship. In America, the price of gasoline has skyrocketed. People are feeling it. You know, earlier in one of my numerology sessions that I talked about for the year leading to 2011, I talked about having a plan. I talked about establishing a budget, because I saw in the numbers where this country and this world was headed to. Now, as I said, there's a lot of deception. There's a lot of deception because the people who are in power, especially on the major communications networks, are still telling people that there's hope for the economy. We're going to come out of this economy. The economic forecasting daily is saying, oh yeah, we're showing signs that we're coming out of this. Well, get out and talk with your friends, your neighbors, people who you work with. Ask them, what does their economy look like? I think that you will find that what they have to tell you honestly, which is a trait of the number 4, is far different than what is being reported in the newspapers, magazines, publications, and in the press, on television and radio. Now, there is a movement within the construct of the internet which is revealing more. That's why the Penmaster is here today, to reveal to you about the numbers. There's a whole movement that deals with trends. These trends are being promoted heavily. And the accuracy of some of these trends are very good. But these trends are based on the science of numerology and astrology. Don't be swayed, don't be persuaded to think otherwise. People in power use numerology and astrology. Understand it. Know this. People in power use it. The Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, I bet you, she knows more about astrology and numerology than you can imagine. You think she's just the Secretary of State who is a person in the position of power in politics in Washington. But she knows this. She is taught this. She was probably taught it from the time that she began to read and write. Okay? I said that for the young people to understand and know. Because under the system of religion, the religion turns a deaf ear. You know, there was a famous black bishop, St. Augustine. When you go on the internet and you do a search on St. Augustine, type in St. Augustine in numbers and or numerology, and you'll be surprised as to what you find. He was real steeped into the science of numerology. The Pope, the archbishops, the bishops, all these cats, they are well steeped into the science of numerology and astrology. The Vatican, they have an astronomical center where they have some of the top astronomers in the world who engage in looking and charting the stars. The relationship of the stars and the numbers are one and the same. How can I say that, Penmaster? Penmaster says that because you are created from stardust. These stardust have a certain vibration. This is all held together by the law of vibration. Everything vibrates. Everything has a sound. Everything has a particular keynote, a rate of sound, a rate of vibration. And when you go higher, you go into the light energy or the light body that you possess. This is knowledge that you need to acquire right now if you intend on working through 2011 and going into 2012. Now, 2012 is not the end all, because there's going to be some heavy-duty things that are going to happen in 2013, 2014. But certain moves is going to be made by certain ones of us beginning in 2012. From 2012 to 2021, there will be a 9-year window that will open. And you will have 9 years. After the 9 years, if you haven't raised your vibration, your consciousness, if you haven't begun to tap into an awareness, Penmaster doesn't know what to tell you. Now, I talked about the 4 and I went off on a tangent just a little bit. However, I want to say this to you. I talked about the 4, now I'm going back to that number 7. In the year 2011, you have what's called trinities of numbers that happen, that occur. 4 is the cycle. But the numbers that are paired with 4 are the numbers 7 and 1. So 1, 4, and 7 are very attributable numbers for this year. Why? Well, 1 is 1. The sum of 1 is 1. The sum of 4, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, added equals 10. That's a 1. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 added together is 28, which is 10. That's a 1. Got it? Now, what's interesting to note is that in the year 2011, which is a 4, if we deal with the invisible force, the unknown force, the occult forces that are happening and exist, it really exists, because the numbers verify this, exist in the year 2011, which is a 4. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 10. 10 is known as the number which is the wheel of fortune. Now, out of everything that you see that appears to be horrible, all the negative that you're being told, all the negativity, there's some fortune. It is up to you, the soul, the self, because soul and self are synonymous. When you deal with yourself, you're dealing with your soul. So, the more deeper aspects of the number 4 requires you to deal with yourself. Each and every soul on this planet has to deal with themselves. Don't be concerned about what's going on out there in the outer. The inner is what's going on. If you're not laying a serious foundation that you can take hold upon, when 2012 appears and that number 4 vibrations shifts into the number 5, and that transitional number between with 4 and 5 is 9, there is a certain fulfillment that is required of you from 4 to 5. It's like playing a note on a musical scale. So the number 4 requires a lot of you. There is a great deal of expectation. Number 4. The number 7. Number 7, as I said before, when the sum of 7 is 28, reduces to 10, then 1. 28 is the number of days within a complete lunar cycle. Number 10, which is a 1, deals with the force of the sun. So there is a pairing and there's an interrelationship between the lunar cycle and the solar cycle. The day of the week that number 4 rules, guess what? It's Sunday, the day of the sun. Sunday has 2 numbers that vibrate to it, 1 and 4. 7 vibrates with the day of the week of Monday, or the moon day, or the lunar day. Now, 4 has a correspondence with green. Now, we've heard about the green movement that supposedly was started by a particular person who ran for president. I won't use names here